What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Rex Righteous, and I'm back with another Flashpoint. What's up, homies and homettes? Um, I'm here to do a breakdown of the Wilder situation that's been going on with DAZN, The Zone, or PBC, or Showtime, or any of the stuff that's going on with Eddie Hearn this week. We're gonna be trying to do a couple segments, so check me out on Facebook. I might be trying to do a live with some another YouTuber. I'm not gonna announce the name right now, but I'm just gonna, you know, hopefully you guys get to enjoy the surprise. But uh, going back to Wilder, the question is he compromised? This is the question of the day. Um, with that being said, what does compromise mean? Now, um, let's check out the definition online. I know that this might seem kind of immature to bring up this part of the segment, but I just feel like it's necessary. So, what does compromise mean? An agreement or settlement of a dispute that is reached by each side making concessions. Okay, that's what we have here. Settle a dispute by mutual concession. Okay, now I'm not saying that Wilder comes from a bad environment, but obviously he's gonna say it's a little messed up. But it's his life, it's what he knows. And the reason why I use the word compromise is because it's what you're comfortable with, but at the end of the day, you don't exactly want to do it. You know, this can be borderline right here because a lot of people feel like this, whether it's in America or you in another country. But yeah, people are going to feel like this and they're going to make deals that they're not exactly happy, but it's the best outcome for their career and for what they know, you know? So that's basically how I feel about it. Like that to me that is the question that should be asked to Deontay Wilder. That should be the theme. That should be the question that's asked to Deontay Wilder's team. That should be the question that should be asked to Sherry Finkel. That should be the question that's asked to Deontay Wilder himself. And if he gives you a bunch of several answers, then obviously he can't answer that question straight up and give you a straight answer, then obviously he is compromised. And I do think he is compromised. Um, Today, earlier, I was watching some of the IFL interviews with Eddie Hearn, and he was talking about there are certain American acts that won't allow him to make a deal with Deontay Wilder. Yes, he can negotiate, he can put out a number, and Deontay Wilder could just be like, I can't, or I don't like it, or whatever, give whatever reason. But he thinks that in the background, there's an American, uh, behind the scenes type of people, which would cause Deontay Wilder to come off as compromised. See, because not everybody looks at boxing the way some casuals do. Because this is the thing: there's the behind the scenes, there's the things that we can guess and fill spots, and assume, and then there's the things that we just don't know, and then there's the things that are in the public. So these are one of the things that we can fill the spot and whatnot. So I was having a discussion on Twitter. It was a slightly of a debate with a Deontay Wilder fan, I would assume. And he was like, "Okay, so what is Deontay Wilder supposed to do while Joshua has a schedule? Because they're both scheduled. They both have their yearly schedule. But one fighter always has to compromise in order to, make their dates a little bit more squished in or a little bit more pushed out for the next fight. And if the next fight is to have the fight that you want, then you're getting everything you need. You know what I'm saying? And if things are just a little bit messed up, then, negotiate. And this is what I was telling the Wilder fan is that if he's giving you $100 million or over $100 million, regardless if he's guaranteeing Anthony or Joshua or not, he's basically guaranteeing you time. He's giving you time. So you don't have to keep fighting. You don't have to keep trying to hurt yourself or trying to prove yourself. If you want the Joshua fight right now, if you want to unify right now, if you want all the titles right now and you want to make a big bag right now, then he's giving you money to compensate for your time. It's like that. While you're waiting or while you're doing whatever or preparing for Anthony Joshua, you know, you can do whatever it is that you please. Now, I don't know if he was forced to only be with the zone or whatever, but at the end of the day, it was a little bit, the step was a little bit closer to fight Joshua. You already fought Fury. You didn't look so well. I said in one of my videos, you can look back, I thought Wilder lost. But at the end of the day, what's in black and white is that he got a draw and it still looks bad. So then, Fury makes a move to top rank. Joshua's still making his money. He could literally fight uh CM Punk and make the money that he's making. I mean, not exactly, but at the end of the day, he can fight whoever he wants, and as long as they're a heavyweight, people are going to pay for it. And that's just what it is. When you have the magnitude that Anthony Joshua brings in, when it comes to revenue, when it comes to people buying, selling out an arena is a big deal. Um, he's doing it. So now let's go back to the question. Okay, is Deontay Wilder compromised? And I have to say, he absolutely is. And it's not his fault. And I'll tell you why. The reason why is that this is the creme de la creme when it comes to his ecosystem, when it comes to his surroundings, when it comes to his friends and peers and whatnot. Um, all the boxers that are like him or come from where he comes from or have upbringings of the same where they do something incredible and they come out of the hood, they usually go to PBC. Now let's be honest, we have Mexican fighters with Oscar de la Hoya. They usually do the same thing. you know Latino fighters, Asian fighters are the same. They come out of the hood and they do incredible things as well. But there is so much segregation when it comes to the fight game and when it comes to certain promotions that you kind of have to go with the flow of things. Now, yes, there is segregation, and then there is politics, and there's also similar stories, but then you also have the whole um, Cinderella aspect to it where fans want to see somebody come up and they want to see him do the Rocky thing. This happens. This happens. This happens with all demographics. So I'm not going to get into race baiting or anything like that, but I'm going to have the conversation because we keep it 100 here when it comes to this channel. So when it comes to Deontay Wilder being with the PBC team and the Showtime team, you have a lot of guys that think very similar, and they're just like a faction. They're like a school. They're like a college. It's a culture. It's a way of being. It's a way of thinking. It would almost be like he would be taking the money and being like, you know what, I'm done with this whole thing. And if he goes and he loses to Joshua, then it's going to be like, oh, well, you sold out for the money. Now, back in the days, everybody would have done it. Everybody. In the 80s and the 90s, everybody would have done it. All boxers would have done it. Even baseball players, even basketball players, they all would have done it. You know, this just started like the last 15, 20 years ago, I don't remember people getting bags like that in the 90s or the 80s. Now, they did get bags, don't get me wrong. They got bags. But, that's when it all started. And then when it ballooned like crazy is within the last 15 to 20 years. So, my take is when it comes to Deontay Wilder is that this man knows that he can't leave what he knows. He's very used to Al Heyman. He's very used to the setup he has. He has a title, and he's had a title for a while. He could just keep doing mandatory after mandatory after mandatory after mandatory after mandatory. And the flip side to this, the pro for him, is that he's still going to gain fans. Now, there are some fans that are going to be flipping on him. But this is the thing. A guy like Deontay Wilder, in the market that he's in, he's going to gain just as much fans that he lost. So he's going to lose a bunch of fans right now. Like right now, he's going to lose a bunch of fans. And after the fight, since the fight isn't pay per view, from what I understand, he's going to gain a bunch of fans because the fight is going to be damn near for free. So then that's when he's going to talk his crap, and then he's going to say all these things, and that's basically what he's doing is he's going off of the free market, the free will of the people, and them choosing whoever they want to choose. But another thing is that it's an American culture thing. He represents people from inner cities, urban areas, the hood, as they say, or down south, or the hip hop scene and all that. And that's just his brand, So is he compromised? Yes, but it's also he's compromised by his own uh, upbringings, which isn't bad because if he also can make something out of it, then obviously it's going to be the best thing for him because he's going to turn out to be uh, a self-made millionaire or even more successful than a regular millionaire, just go up into the hundreds of millions of dollars, which is awesome. And he'll be around his loved ones and his friends and his people and the people he's worked with for years and stuff like that, instead of feeling like he's sold out and had to go work with people he doesn't know from, a hole in the wall. So I could see why he didn't make his move. Now, $100 million is $100 million. And if you are about your business, you're going to take that money. A lot of people would. But what other heavyweight does the premier boxing champions have? Like, they don't have anybody. So obviously, it just gives him more power when it comes to Showtime and PBC. But it also forces the hand of Showtime and PPC if they don't have the revenue to match him. It's gonna just make it a little bit more uncomfortable every now and then for Deontay Wilder. And ultimately, I still will say yes, he is compromised. I've been saying that for the past 5 minutes. I think in a perfect world, he could take that money and he could do what he has to do. But my thing is, it's not about the money, it's about those titles. If you make it about unifying those titles and your title, the title that you have, the green one, the WBC title, heavyweight champion belt, and make it about the fans because everybody, the real boxing fans, want to see this fight. They want to see it, and you guys both speak English. It's not like Triple G and Canelo. Nobody's understood these people. Nobody. You both speak English. Come on, that's a ginormous fight. And you prolonging it even more. And you just had a great fight with Fury. Why not? You're fighting the best. You already fought Luis Ortiz. And I'm not saying he's like phenomenal or whatever, but obviously, if you would have fought him years ago, it would have been different. But you know, that's it. That's it. Brazil is not a bad fight. Don't get me wrong. If I was his advisor, like his real advisor, because like I agree with Eddie Hearn, he's not his advisor. When he does these things where Al Heyman, basically, you know, makes it seem as if he's advising him, but at the same time he does this promoter type things, making promoter type decisions for Wilder. It kind of hurts him, and it kind of puts him in a it puts Al Heyman in a promoter seat, you know. But the point that I'm trying to make is that in a perfect world, Wilder should have took the money and fought Brazil if that was still available. I mean, it would have been awkward. It would have been strange, but just be like, this is part of having the belt, and just switch the whole narrative and just be like, yo, I just care about the belts. Because if everything becomes about money, 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 then where's my out to this? I'm gonna be fighting till I'm, 60-0. What kind of shit is this? So let me know what you guys think. Is Wilder compromised? Am I tripping? All right, man. Until next time, folks. Let's try to keep boxing alive. Peace.